Folks, how are you?
Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Insanity That Makes Sense. Today's episode, we're going to talk about Joe Biden and his descent into insanity. For 4 years, the media and everybody in the Democratic Party tried to hide Joe Biden's incompetence and his capabilities to run the country. And they pretty much thought the American people were semi-retarded. But it was Joe Biden that was the one that had no mental capacity to run the country, which was quite evident and finally came to a head on this day in history back in 2024 when Joe Biden had to stand in the spotlight, in limelight, and debate what now is the President of the United States, Donald Trump. Joe Biden was a bumbling, stumbling lunatic.
If we finally beat Medicare.
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
And couldn't remember his lines, couldn't remember his train of thought, and couldn't even remember his name. When it came to Medicaid and talking about that, he couldn't hold a conversation. He couldn't keep a straight thought in his mind, and basically showed the entire country that he was a mess and his brains had turned to applesauce.
When he left office, and I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
This obviously was the turning point that made Democratic Party, George Clooney, Nancy Pelosi, and Adam Schiff and Schumer put the knife in his back and stab him and made him get out of the race.
Segregation that exists among these corporations that collude to keep people out of their houses.
But what was their alternative? Another scrambled brains drunk Kamala Harris, who was not maybe brain dead, but basically couldn't hold a sentence together either, and her big word salads and not being able to answer a question or carry on a conversation with as little as anybody that would ask her a question ruined her own self. And basically she was younger than Joe Biden, but obviously mentally incapacitated and a retard. So that was the end of her campaign, and Donald Trump walked away with the election and carried every state in the United States with a mandate to be the president. So God bless Donald Trump, and we're going to find out more about Joe Biden and his scrambled brains. And stay tuned as we're still unraveling who ran the country for the last 4 years. And keep tuning into my station, subscribe. There's going to be a lot of activity and a lot of excitement coming up because we are definitely going to follow the indictments and who's going to be going to jail. So stay tuned on my channel. Thank you and have a great day.